So frank admission, I've never seen Purple Rain. Hey guys, welcome to Pillbox Movies, I'm Hank, and today we're going to be watching the 1984 musical Purple Rain. This is continuing on in our series of greatest musicals you've never seen. Maybe you've seen Purple Rain. I've never seen Purple Rain. This is an odd admission, but I grew up in this in-between space where Prince was no longer as much of a cultural icon as he was in the late 80s and early 90s, and so I've never had much of an experience with Prince. Mostly I knew him as the one who made the over-sexual songs in Batman, but I thought I'd give Purple Rain a shot. Prince, at the time, was one of the highest grossing, best-selling musical artists of all time, and he thought, I will not continue until I star in a movie about me. The film stars Prince, The Revolution, Apollonia Cotero, Morris Day, and Clarence Williams III. I'm really excited to watch this. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but that's half the excitement. And before we get started, remember to click the like button and subscribe if you want to see more old, obscure, and art house films. Okay, let's watch 1984's Purple Rain. My mic. Ooh, I got it on a little bit louder today. Just trying to get into the experience a bit more. I like the electric organs. All this stuff, maybe a couple years ago, would have been a little bit kitschy, but in our monstrous studio-led homogeneity of contemporary culture, I'll take all of the weirdness of kitsch or retro. So is there going to be a story to this, or is it just going to be like a full concert? Because I'd be fine with that, but I'm just interested to know. Prince keeps a messy dressing room. We should go back to that. Normalize messy counters. Another good. I somehow doubt Prince is playing the piano with his feet. Out of town experience. Friggin' boonies trying to make it in big old Minneapolis. The idea of Prince doing an indoor show just seems so insane to me. Imagine him performing in a venue with like a bar. What is like the seating for this place? Like 500?
Thanks. Apollonia?
Wanted to stay a while. See how it's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome The Time.
How is Prince gonna be an opening act? Oh god. Is this like intentionally aping like the Talking Heads? Just fucking her. A lot of mean mugging to the camera. The idea that Prince could just like go out in the audience and not be absolutely accosted is hilarious to me.
I really liked your song too.
Baby, I can't hear a word you're saying.
Just leave me alone.
Oh boy.
Keep this place clean. Please, Dad, she's heard you.
How old is Prince supposed to be in this movie?
Look what he's doing to me.
Oh, Clarence, you can't be treating your son like this.
Second time he hasn't shown up, man. I've been telling you he's fucking up. You know what you need to do.
Ooh,
You need to
this is rated R.
He just plays a lot of shit that nobody wants to hear. His old man,
I feel that.
that's his career. Yeah. What I need to do is get somebody commercial, like a girls group.
Impossibly expositional scene. Well, that's the thing about exposition scenes. Cram them in as early as possible.
Hey, wait. I've got something for you. It's a song Lisa and Wendy wrote.
How Prince isn't sweating up a storm all the time is beyond me.
I would be doing much better. Any idea? That Apollonia babe we saw last night.
Oh, interesting looping. There's a certain community theater charm in this movie. I'm under the impression that, who's the director? Albert Magnoli, the manager of Prince, he couldn't secure a studio to produce the film, and so produced it himself. It leads to a lot of creative excesses and kind of like non-studio stylings, but on the other side of things, it can also lead to some Bush League performances.
Wait, do you see something you like?
Let's go.
Oh, it's the guitar. In some ways, I'm actually surprised by how naturalistic a lot of this is shot as. My like memories or impressions of Purple Rain has always been like smoky alleyway sets, you know, kind of like the cover. Wear your helmets. You saw like the entire crew in his glasses.
So where do you come from?
New Orleans.
How did she pronounce that? New Orleans?
First Avenue's really famous.
Where is she actually from?
About.
She's from California. Santa Monica. I could kind of get that. She sounds a little bit like a surfer to me.
Will you help me?
Nope.
I love Prince. Just this aloof mother.
You have to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
What?
Good old Minnesota boy. She jumps in and he's like, that's not Lake Minnetonka, idiot. How far down is she gonna go? Do people be watching this in theaters with their kids? This is a rated R film.
Hey, wait a minute, that's... hold it.
What?
That ain't Lake Minnetonka.
Ah, I was right.
Kill you!
Bye, loser. That's what you get. Oh my god, Prince, please wear a helmet.
I must have looked pretty ridiculous.
And yet your
No,
makeup
no,
is
you
totally
look great.
intact. Aw, look at Prince's beautiful hazel eyes.
Come on!
And simultaneously, this is like a 12-year-old's idea of flirting.
Don't get my seat all wet.
What? The password. Password is what? Exactly. The password is exactly?
Yeah. Abbott and Costello, it ain't.
Damn it, say the password. What? Say the password, onion head. The password is what? What?
Next time you think of putting a scene like that in your movie, do not. This movie's featuring a lot of 5'4" guys with deep set voices.
I knew it. He didn't listen to it. He probably dropped it under his bike and rolled over it.
Why do they dislike him so much?
Wow. Every time we give you a song, you say you're gonna use it, but you never do. You're
That's
just
interesting.
being paranoid as usual.
I wonder if they actually set up the kid as having some sort of character flaw that he has to overcome over the course of the film,
Dark cloud over your head.
beyond the conflict he has with his father.
The nominees for Best Actress are...
That's interesting. I hope they use this as like an internal conflict that they work through over the course of the movie. Because they have been setting up the kid as like slightly bratish and immature
So tired of this.
in a way that could be flipped as like likable or charming. But if they actually explore it as like a state of arrested development that's kind of spawned from his at-home strife, that'd be interesting.
You tired too?
More than you'd expect from like a puff piece. It's Purple Rain.
Your lips would make a lollipop too happy.
You think so?
Yes.
Who's paying for this, Morse?
Keep the change. Give my change, would you? Of course, Morris. Anything. Wish you could see my home. It's so exciting.
I've got a very, very exciting draperies to show you.
Have a brass. What a bed.
Slowing it down. I do kind of, I mean, I was saying that the part where Morris is flirting with her is like kind of edited a little bit lackadaisically. It's a little bit slow and ponderous, but I do kind of like the contrast set up between the two. let's say, flirtation scenes, Morris's approach, and then the kid's approach, which is obviously on stage, it's nonverbal. It's a seduction through performance. The guitarist is cute. What the fuck? It's a little crazy to think that Prince is like 24, 25 when he was making this movie. Just insane productivity. Ooh. Reaching those notes while lying down, okay. I've also felt like crying during live musical performances. Well, I'm kind of like, you know, her emotions look a little suspect. I get the feeling behind them.
That was great. Pick one song and split.
Can't do it any better than that.
Do one song? You guys left after that one song?
Hey, don't worry about it.
Really? I would worry about it. That's what leaving the audience wanting too much more. They're gonna refund. You can't do that. Prince. Holy shit. Do people really watch this movie with their kids?
You always treat your women like that.
I don't have anybody right now.
I did back when I was in middle school, but that ended on bad terms.
Stop.
Don't. Senpai. No. You don't touch me, I touch you. I would love... You know, Prince is an artist and all that, whatever, but I would love to watch a vanity project in which the lead, who is also the writer, who is also the director, you know, doesn't fuck a woman in the movie and doesn't show off their vast, like, sexual prowess. Just a vanity project wherein a male lead has, like, a deep platonic friendship. Movie lovemaking. It's just really weird. Got that Purple Rain riff going again. I think he likes it, girls. I think he likes it.
Where is everybody?
You're late. They left.
You guys ever seen the, I mean, you've probably seen it, but the Prince halftime show at the Super Bowl? Good shit. Watch the behind the scenes in terms of the production of the halftime show.
I think I have something you might be interested in.
The kid's gonna help me.
He's never done anything in his whole life for anybody but himself.
Okay, so they are building that up as like a character flaw in him.
Yes, it is. What's he done for you?
He's fucked me from behind. Oh wait, that wasn't for me.
What you gonna do?
Are they driving a yellow car? Why choose yellow? It looks like a cab.
Just come by sometime. Maybe we can work something out.
Oh, is that like Morse's color scheme? Yellow versus purple. Complementary colors.
This just might work out for both of us.
I think. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense if they wear antagonistic colors. I think that also might key into the way that the kid's home life is filmed too. They film it with like a lot of yellows, and perhaps that's cluing us in, you know, color story wise, that this life is kind of antagonistic to the one that he wants for himself, the kind of purple dark set colors of his performance personality or identity.
You do what I say.
I wonder how much money he brings in for his parents.
You got no business leaving this house. You're always sneaking around. Please. What's the matter with this house?
Damn.
Crazy.
Shut up.
It's It's a little bit weird to see like Clarence Williams and Olga Carlitos put on like a real acting performance, in contrast with a lot of the kind of fun community theater-ish acting that's in the rest of this film. They're like going to town on like a real like psychological performance in their section, and the rest is kind of just like, you know, we're putting on a show kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. If you just believed in me.
Jesus. R.I.P. Clarence Williams III. Look at him, just acting through tears. R.I.P. R.I.P.
What is it?
Open it.
Girl, I did not need a new guitar. I just wanted to say thank you for me from behind.
Oh no.
Girl, I'm left-handed.
I'm gonna join Morris's group.
Prince! Well, they've definitely set up an internal conflict in the character.
I don't want you around this at all. Till I make you happy.
I swear to God, if this movie ends with Apollonia leaving Morris's group for Prince's, I'll be low-key pissed. It's a big kid. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, recycling the footage is a little weird. This movie's under 2 hours. We don't really need to see the same footage over again. Like we just saw it 15 minutes ago.
Where are you?
Oh, did he leave? Oh, did he die? I mean, okay, it's not exactly the littering tree, but they are like getting into deep scarring shit. From a writing perspective and from a performance perspective, Clarence Williams III is showing like a lot of different faces in this performance. He's like really, 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 really good.
I don't write them down. I don't have to. There's a big difference between you and me. You got a girlfriend. If they get married.
Holy shit. Williams is on another level in this movie. It's just like actually insane to watch. It's also important that he's not using her guitar. Better not sing for the rest of this sequence.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
It's not about hurting anybody.
It's about sending a message.
Burns.
Okay, I like that as a little detail. He went over to, I don't know if that's Liz or Wendy's. He went over to her mic to finish the song. Well, he's prepared props. It's a little weird to see, like, Apollonia emotionally react to these pieces that Prince performs. Like, I think on paper you can see kind of the progression, that the first one was a seduction and this one's like a condemnation. But the way that Apollonia Cotero, the actress, performs the scene, it kind of feels like it falls on the same beats. And so it feels repetitive when it's not meant to be.
This is a business, and you ain't too far gone to see that yet.
Oh, that line's used in a Common album, isn't it? Like Water for Chocolate? No. It was B, wasn't it?
But like father, like son.
Oops.
Let me give you some good. Your music makes sense to no one but yourself.
And they kind of use like the yellow lighting to hint towards him being in the same kind of like psychological headspace, so that he's at home, or that he's kind of like in an antagonistic environment right now. I do like the Scorsese zoom though.
You're a genius.
She doesn't change out of her stage outfit? Okay.
Where's Jerome?
Where is Jerome? I miss Jerome. Don't try and her, please. Yeah, I'm kind of sad that they set up Morris to be like, oh, okay, so they don't necessarily, because she's not necessarily rebuking Morris's affections. They don't necessarily show that. They're showing this scene as like, as the kid kind of like imposing on the situation, rather than necessarily saving Apollonia. Okay, I'm down for this.
Get on. Come on.
Prince, put on a helmet, god damn it. Prince, what the fuck? I mean, I said before, if they make out Morris to be like the uber bad guy of this narrative and have it be that Prince kind of like saves Apollonia from him, I'd really hate that, because this movie is being very particular and driving home a stated conflict that Prince has, that the kid has internally. He needs to resolve that before he resolves any external conflict.
No!
You always need a Charles Foster Kane scene. Wait, I thought he didn't write down his music. Seems like you aren't so different, you and I. My son, what have you done? Can you, like, go take care of your mom? I'm glad, like, we're exploring, like, you know, Black mental illness and grief in this situation, but also, like, we can't just center this entire familial conflict as being your own. Like, go take care of your mom. I'll be able to add this to the canon of big yellow movies that I've archived previously. Oh, man. I love that we're hearing a real piano for the first time. It's like this nice breath of organic air in a movie that's been largely synth and electronic. Not to say that the synth or electronic parts are bad, but this is kind of giving a heart and soul kind of contrast, that this is like the manifestation of the deep and interior in the kid's character. Yeah, see, those auditory cuts aren't the greatest. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What was that band that ended, that was at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Yeah, I was right! This is the band that ends Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Oh my god. So are they gonna go on after the Time? Wouldn't they just always open for the Time? Aren't the Time the headliners? I actually gotta say, I think Morris is like really charismatic in this role. I know Prince is supposed to be a highlight of this movie, but I think Morris takes like what is ostensibly a villain role and makes it really affable and likable in like just owning it kind of way. Like, he's not like sleazy, evil, like rich guy. He's a performer and a businessman who is kind of in possession of his own abilities and owns it. They seem like, you know, the athletic team in Mighty Ducks 2. They're just like really good at their job. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being the New York Yankees?
How's the family?
Don't say that to him, Jesus. Why'd they add that one line just to make them like assholes? Hey, look, see, he's like a real person. He like actually feels regret over these things and like internal conflict. A very, very nuanced human performance by Morris Day. I'm like actually like really, I'm like really impressed by Morris Day in this film. I think he does a lot with like his limited experience.
The Revolution.
I'd like to dedicate this to my father. It's a song the girls in the band wrote, Lisa and Wendy.
They're like, we of course we know this song. We practiced it, obviously. Oh, I love this head-on performance by Prince. Just like perfect medium framing. Just so still and different from, and made in such contrast to his other ones. When he was singing in the first set, when he was seducing Apollonia, he was in profile and singing like facing his piano or his keyboard. And the second one, he was like all crazy and frenetic and jumping around everywhere. And this one, it's just like a still direct shot with this deep purple blue kind of lighting. And he's of course playing the guitar that Apollonia gifted him. I was gonna say, I kind of like that the song that he dedicates is to his father. The meaning of the song isn't directly about his relationship with his father, but it is a song just playing kind of his vulnerability and his self-reflection. I like this slow, like, pan back as it gradually opens up to the entire band. This is very slow, deliberate framing for this performance. I really like it. Ooh. Holy shit. Oh man. This is how La La Land should have ended. I don't know if the movie is directly saying this or this is me inferring, but I kind of like the framing of this song, of this piece, kind of moving from the kid or Prince's kind of ideological framing as music being something that's selfish and like expressive of only like his individual perspective and wants and desires and eccentricities, into something that's communal. Like William, the manager, keeps on telling him that he can't perform songs that are just for himself, and while the song isn't like a capitulation or anything, he's still kind of performing from a place of interiority. He's like opened it up. He's opened himself up and expressed himself in such a way that is like kind of like inviting the audience, and it becomes like a communal kind of event. I'm glad we get this Rudy moment. Don't resolve it. I'd actually love it if you didn't resolve it. I've had a change of heart. Don't resolve the Apollonia storyline, because I think it fits in perfectly if you have this rearranging the father's oh man. Because I was gonna say, I think it works perfectly having like him rearranging the father's work, and then not resolving with Apollonia at the end. His mic work is tremendous. Just absolutely years of ingrained experience with a mic. The Rock couldn't do that. I think Morris is tremendous in this. I'm not going to be able to play any of this. I kind of like how unfocused this ending is, like how little of it is devoted to ostensibly the primary relationship of the film between him and Apollonia, because in some ways I think like by the end that is not the primary relationship or the primary focus. Okay. This was obviously great. Yeah, I think this was like a wonderful, like, I think this is like obviously like a great experience in like the good version of a vanity project and like what can be done outside of a studio. Like this movie would never be made by a studio with its sex, very, very limited swearing, domestic issues, and, you know, forefronting a pop star in such a vital kind of like carry the whole film kind of lead role without any kind of like preparation or experience. Yeah, I think this is a really, really great movie. Great music and really interesting characterizations. Really, really interesting exploration of like black mental health issues, his father's depression and domestic abuse of his mother, and how that kind of like feeds into the kid's own issues of trust and personal boundaries and like using women as like objects and stuff. I actually don't think it's like been fully resolved within the film. Like narratively, I'll say that it's resolved, but I don't think like conceptually it's actually fully addressed in the movie, and I think that's a good thing. And I think they should have. I think I would have loved to see them lean into that a bit more. I think that there's a version of this I would have loved to see where the kid and Apollonia don't like kind of like resolve their relationship in the end. You know, he just like takes the earring or the ankle bracelet that she has and tosses it away, and she doesn't catch it. I think her catching it and them reconciling gives a kind of finality to the end, which I'd be interested in seeing a version of this film where they don't go for that, where the end of the movie isn't about like finality, it's about process and growth. So the kid like grows and learns in in performing the Purple Rain song, and he gains adulation, and he kind of like renews his relationship with his bandmates and with the First Avenue venue's manager. But it doesn't like resolve all of the conflicts. It doesn't resolve his relationship with his parents at home. It doesn't necessarily mend his relationship with Morris or with Apollonia. And what I was like feeling at the end was that this was part of a process, a progression for the character of the kid, that he's kind of like learned from this event, and that'll help him kind of develop and propel forward. And so while he's messed up with his relationship with Apollonia, he's learned from that mistake, and that's something that will kind of like steady him and ready him for his next relationship and for the next time he's ready to be open and vulnerable. And so for him to like get back together with Apollonia immediately gives a kind of finality to it, where it's like, oh, this has been resolved, everything has been like healed or repaired. And I get, for a narrative feature film, that's like kind of what you want to do. I would have loved to see the version that leaned more into this is a work in progress, but the kid is going in the right direction. Above all, I was shocked by the performance of Morris Day. He went from being like a slimy, gross out, hack character or whatever, to being like kind of lovable and, well, not admirable, appreciable, understandable in his opportunism and his giving Apollonia a band because he wants to sleep with her. I think that's kind of gross, obviously, but as far as the film language goes, he doesn't go so far as to pressure her or whatever. He does make like the worst jab at the kid following his father's suicide attempt. That's like obviously something you shouldn't do, but they also frame it as him feeling remorse over it afterwards and recognizing his inherent shittiness. I just thought that Morris Day showed boundless charisma in this role, and humor, and a willingness to poke fun at himself. And so actually that's my big takeaway from this movie, that the music is great and Morris Day and the time are really good. I can kind of understand why Kevin Smith was into the guy. So yeah, that was Purple Rain. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend checking it out. Go listen to some Prince music, go listen to some Morris Day and the Time music, and until next time, keep watching good movies.